Analysis. Let's turn to David Bier. He is an immigration policy analyst at the Center for Global Liberty and Prosperity at the CATO Institute. That's a libertarian think tank. Give me your sense of what's going on. Just seems like this story sort of goes away and then it comes right back up.
Well, these caravans have been going on for now a couple of years, and they're growing in size, they're becoming more popular, but the reality is that the caravans are actually a small share of the total number of people coming to the U.S. Mexico border from Central America. Most of the people who are coming in a very decentralized manner. They're catching rides on buses, they're catching rides on trains. It's not this organized group of thousands of people. And really what the Mexican government's policy has been, it has really remained quite consistent, actually. We're going to break up these caravans. We're going to break them up into smaller units. We're going to make sure that it's not this big display that we saw in early 2018, for example, where it showed up at the border and it became a really hot political topic in the United States. They want to reduce the pressure, reduce the amount of attention, and that's what they've done, but really we're talking about a small part of the total picture when it comes to migration through Mexico.
You talked about it being a hot political topic. Obviously, this is a lightning rod for the U.S. president. He tried to use it in the midterm elections. Presidential election just around the corner. I'm sure he's seeing this as an opportunity to use it again. We've got these competing interests here in Washington. Give me your sense of how this all plays out in the days, months ahead.
Well, certainly the Democrats don't want to deal with the immigration issue. They want to campaign on other issues like healthcare, education, infrastructure. These are the issues that Democrats won on in 2018. They want to focus on political winners like the DREAM Act when it comes to immigration, dealing with the people who grew up here from a young age. They don't want to focus on the number of people crossing the border. So there is some incentive on the Democratic side, do something about this issue. The president has actually come out and said he wants more legal immigration. In his State of the Union, he said he wants the most number of legal immigrants ever. So maybe you could have a compromise where you have some visas set aside for Central Americans so they can come legally, but a little bit stiffer policies along the border to fast track the removal of people who don't take up that offer of a work visa to come legally.
You said maybe there can be a bit of a compromise, but you used to work on Capitol Hill. You drafted this sort of legislation. You know what the political climate is like. Yeah. Give me a sense of what it was like when you were working up on the Hill, I think 2013 to 2015, and now. How hard is it to bring both sides together and come up with some kind of compromise?
Look, in early 2013, it was a lot easier. Before the saliency of the issue had really been blown up into the spectacle that it is today. I think each year, each month even that's gone on, it's become more polarized. There's less willingness to compromise. And really there's less trust between the political parties. Everyone thinks the other side is going to undermine them at the last second for political gain. And that's the kind of environment that doesn't produce bipartisan outcomes. But you know, hopefully we'll see some change on that. But obviously we haven't had big immigration reform in the United States since the 1980s, early 1990s. So I can't say I'm optimistic, but it's certainly a challenge.
Is there one thing you think that both sides can come together on and agree on?
Well, I think there
are. This is a much larger, complex issue. I mean, obviously, a lot of moving pieces.
I think there is agreement that people should come to the United States legally, and that crossing the border illegally is a big problem, that we need to do something about those incentives. The question is what? Right now, the administration is all about enforcement. We're only going to do enforcement and make it tougher on people who cross illegally. The Democrats really haven't put forward an alternative plan, and that's really the issue is, can we get to a point in the United States where we can agree on more legal immigration as an alternative for people who are trying to come to the United States? Maybe a little bit more enforcement, but more legal immigration. And that seems to be the area of commonality that we could get agreement on if we had people interested in getting an agreement.
David, that may be something we may not see, but thanks so much for your analysis. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.